Did it go? Yes. That's...
Back he goes, lots of fun. Yeah.
Oh, I had the whole...
Do your job, bring back more.
Woohoo!
We're in an amazing part of New Zealand, right up here in Golden Bay. And the great news is that it's been found to be a great place to catch kingfish. Kingfish on the fly. Now, I don't know if you've ever done kingfish on the fly, you've ever wanted to do kingfish on the fly, but last week I gave it a bit of a go. That's why I've travelled all the distance back up here this week, because it's just so much fun. Here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be working out over the flats which you see behind me here, and we're going to be looking for stingrays. Yes, stingrays. They're our quarry. Why? Because stingrays have kingfish that often work with them. So they scuttle along the bottom and they stir up a whole pile of food that the kingies love. And when we stick over something like a popper, gee, do they like that. And do I like that? You better believe it. There's nothing quite like the thrill of catching yourself a fish on a fly rod that might be 20, 25 pounds. We're going to go out and try and show you a little bit about what we're doing here so that you get the idea of what you can do. So we're out here in the water. I'm about waist deep, and what I'm doing is I'm scouting the whole landscape here for stingrays. The great thing about it, the bottom is nice and light, and so they stand out pretty well. Just make sure you don't stand on one, we don't like big stuff. Now, the kingfish run with the stingrays, so when I see one, I've got to be really quick to be able to get my lure right in front of where they're at, and that means quite quick stripping. So we're going to show you a little bit of that, and hopefully we'll show you a hookup or two, because there's quite a few fish out here. Sounds like fun.
Finally got one, Malcolm.
Finally got one. This is hookup number 8. Finally got one. Fantastic fun. I tell you, nothing beats the heart throbbing adrenaline of this. This is outrageous fun. Incidentally, I've got a very big drag on. That's what you don't do. Got to cut that one. Probably leave it in there, won't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Woohoo! Not necessarily huge, but lots of fun. Gee, I love kingy fishing. One of the things that's really important when you go out and do saltwater fly fishing is the appropriate selection of a fly. And it's been interesting here for us experimenting. We found that large bait flies like I've got in my hand here have been really successful, particularly if it's a little bit rough. Now, I found that Golden Bay is a really windy place, so we do a little bit of bracing ourselves against the elements. If it's nice and calm, then my favourite is this. This is a popper, and the idea with this popper, it's basically made of a light foam. A little work's gone into that to make it look nice and attractive, and you start pulling these across the surface, boy oh boy, it is the most exciting way to catch fish, because it's often got a pack attack of kingfish coming after it, and they absolutely gobble it. It looks great. Come and grab it. Gee, that's exciting.
That stingray took off in a hurry.
Yeah, I got a bit upset. Yeah, it's got a strong red. Look, it's bending right here. Got the drag really cranked up. Woohoo! That's how hard these suckers fight. What do you think? All the obstructions they can. I can see how they go.
Oh, he's brilliant.
So I can see that this kingfish has had a bit of damage, not caused by us. But what amazes me is that it gave me one of the hardest fights of any of the kingies that I've caught. So we're going to let it go and hope that it recovers nicely. The old bait fly does it again. Lovely fish, very hard fighting. Deserves to go back for another day. Demonstrate for you now how we fish for these fish, just so you can get an idea of how it is that we do it. It's not the only way, but it works for us. What I'm trying to do is get a popper out on the surface and retrieve it, so I'll show you that whole process. When casting, it's important to be able to get good distance, and we do that by doing double hauls. That is, you pull out a little bit extra on the forecast and a little bit of extra from the back cast. You go further, catch more fish. Good thing to practice a double haul at home before you get here, because it's amazing when the adrenaline hits your system and there's a ray right in front of you, you get really excited and it might all turn to custard. Teach your muscles what to do, it makes your trip much more memorable.
Saw this big ray, two of them actually, so biffed it right between two of them the way they were going, and stripping the popper back, and because of the wave action, it was the kingies were chasing it because the wave action was skipping between the waves. And so they chased right up to me and didn't hit it. So I slowed down the retrieve slightly, tried to time it with the waves, and smack. About 3 seconds into the cast, bang. This thing just took off, hit so hard and smashed like a freight train. Wraith to use. Awesome rod. 7 weight. Oh, this is insane, man. I love it. Yeah, Richard, when they come close to you, put your legs right together. Put your legs together.
Am I going through his legs?
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
It's so cool.
It's mean, eh?
It's so cool.
You get your legs together, otherwise it was trying to hide by you, man.
It was. That's so cool,
Here we
Jack.
go. He goes on the surface.
Right, so this is day 3 of our little road trip up here to Golden Bay, and we just had a fantastic time. Day 1 we spent half a day in quite vicious winds catching quite a lot of kingfish. Day 2 we had better conditions for about 3 hours. It was extremely hot with fish all over our flies, and in fact it allowed me to just take quite a relaxed approach to the day. But you know, in conclusion, I'd just say what an amazing place to be. So we've got a half day today, or a few hours this morning before we go back to Christchurch, which is our home base, and we totally love the place. What do you reckon about it, mate? Will you be back?
Oh mate, this place is insane. Yesterday was so much fun, especially in the afternoon. You'd spot a ray, and then if you were too slow, you'd miss out. There's 4 of you just tearing at it like a bat out of hell, and it was so much fun, man.
So since it's our last day, we can't hang around here talking. We're going fishing. See you later.
Let's go, man.